Alright, so it did connect. I wasn't sure. Hopefully it's going to be okay. It looked like it was a little slow connection there. So, how's everybody? Is anybody home? I decided to go on a little bit later, so hopefully you guys are around. Looks like some people are showing up. Hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome to the beautiful Northwest. It's rainy. A little bit rainy. Not too bad. Well, I am open to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. If anybody has anything on their mind, and I will do my best to keep up. Greetings from Italy. Hello. I love Italy. I've been to Rome, Pompeii, Florence. One of my very favorite places ever is Venice. I loved Venice. It was just a bizarre city. Hey, Billy. Hey, Patrick. Montreal. Australia. I need to do a world tour for sure. I'll know at least one person in like 20 countries. It'll be great. That'll be the way to go. I can just play some acoustic songs at a local open mic and just go snorkeling or, you know, whatever, right? Is everything looking okay there? You guys, people already leaving? Okay. Must be the connection. Bitch. That's probably it. You guys are leaving because the connection's bad. This might not be the time to do this, huh? Crap. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Move my phone. Let me know, you guys. I mean, are you typing? Because I'm not seeing anything. So if you're typing to me, I'm not seeing anything. Which tells me the connection's bad. I probably just need to go direct. I tried to set up on my computer. Well, alright. Oh. Hey, Mitch. Is it choppy, you guys, or are you seeing this? Everything okay? Well, I don't know if this is a good connection. Okay, it's good. Okay, that's good. It's good to know. Because it was freezing earlier. Yeah, it came up that it was a bad connection for a second. So, I'm just kind of winging it. People are leaving as fast as they're coming in almost. So, I'm not really sure. Depending on where you're at, it may just be like not happening. You were smoking, listening to me, waiting for a new good story. Connection is great. Well, there was one thing I was thinking of. You know, in Montage of Heck, I should probably talk about this another time, but Montage of Heck, Tracy mentioned that Kurt would have dreams. Dreams of people coming after him and maybe family members. And I thought about it, I was like, man, you know, I wonder if they ever stopped, you know, like when he was with Courtney, you know, I wonder if like he still kept having dreams of people coming after him, you know, family members trying to kill him when he was sleeping in bed with Courtney. I don't know, just thinking about that. So, Canada, tropical paradise, hell yeah. I just hung out with a friend from Toronto. I just met her actually, and she lives in Mississauga, maybe Mississauga, something like that. All right, everybody still there? Everyone leave? Trying to make this happen. I just reconnected. See if we can get this going again. So I just lost most everyone. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So, I gotta figure something out. I don't know. I mean, it's just internet's kind of expensive. So, with everything else, I can't afford. So I'm just going, you know, using my phone here, the internet that's I automatically pay for. Yeah, I don't know if this is working, you guys. It may not be worth it. Yeah, I just said I just met a friend from Toronto in Seattle, and yeah, sounds like it was really snowy up there. So yeah, I don't really know how to do this connection. Like, what is a good time to connect to live? This is probably not a good time because there's a lot of other people doing it. Maybe that's why. That's what I'm guessing. But anyway, I thought I just should probably just do it way earlier. Seemed like it went pretty smooth earlier in the day. But I could eventually figure out my computer. I got it all set up. My connection's not fast enough on my computer to do it. So yeah, well, I don't know. I'm kind of open to talk about whatever. I don't have any big plans. Hello. Green Day story. The only Green Day story I have is the one meeting Billy Joe that one day, and he said the first show he saw was the show with Christ on Parade, Neurosis, and my band Subvert at the Gilman Street in Berkeley, and I gave him some weed, and this was like 1992. That's about it. Yeah, 10 minutes to get the chat up. See, I don't know what to do. I mean, my data is reset, you know? Oh, okay. Also now, Super Chat is set up. People have asked me about that a couple times, just so you guys know. I'm not, whatever, but just so you guys know. Yeah, so, you know, like I said, yes, I met Courtney twice. Kurt introduced me to Courtney, the Paramount show, and Tempe, Arizona. And didn't really say any more to her, but hi, nice to meet you. Hi. That was about it. You know? She seemed nice to me. Club 20, I don't know what Club 27 is. What's Club 27? Fill me in. Is it, did Kurt get a movie offer? I don't know. That would have been amazing. I hope so. Well, you mean back then? Yeah, I don't know. Quentin Tarantino should do a movie now related to Kurt. That would be pretty amazing. When you first watched him do Unplugged, I was absolutely blown away because the only acoustic stuff I'd ever heard that Kurt did was really Polly. You know, I mean, you know, even Something in the Way, like when I saw him play that, it was heavy. I mean, it was like mellow, and then they got really, really heavy. But yeah, the unplugged thing was a surprise. You know, I mean, that was like, wow, that was all recorded. That's how I felt about it. From Oh, Glasgow! I have family in Newcastle, England. I want to go visit them. Kurt was a big Scottish bands. My favorite Scottish band. Oh, I probably have one, but I don't know if they're Scottish or not. Hmm. I don't know. I apologize. I know. I'm sure there's Scottish bands that I love. Um, Mogwai? Where's Mogwai from? No, Mogwai is awesome. I don't know if they're from. Seems to me they are from somewhere like that. Maybe Ireland. Mogwai. Am I right? They are from Scotland. Yes. Ah. Yeah. See. See, you do live by Newcastle. I know my geography. I did all right. Yeah, Mogwai is amazing. Every about no, 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 no. No, I just happened to run into Chris on April 5th, 1994 at the Mazzy Star Show, which I don't know if you've seen that video, but Chris, I was worried because the stuff was in the news, and I just asked him, "Hey, I'm worried. How is Kurt doing?" And he said he really like was specific, don't believe what you hear, Kurt's doing fine. He really thought that Kurt was okay. Um but besides that, the times I've in the last like 20 years, I haven't even seen Chris that many times. Like up until like the late 90s, that's when I saw Chris, talk to him way more often, and then once like 2000 started, I didn't talk to him very much. I see him only once in a while. Well, no, I think he thought Kurt was okay. You know, I've read, though I don't totally trust. I think that Charles Cross's book is well written, and he did what he could to try to tell the story. But I don't exactly know, like, when it says in there that Chris was worried about Kurt, and Kurt, driving Kurt around, and Kurt didn't seem the same, and I don't know. I mean, I've seen Chris say that Kurt was not doing that well too. So I don't know, man. You guys, that's just I don't really know what to say on that. It's just a depressing subject that is a lot of mysteries, right? It really is. I wish there was more answers. I really wish that I was in touch with Kurt at that time. I barely saw him. Like, hey, Bruce. Hey, you are cool. You're around. It's awesome. I was seeing your friends become the biggest band in the world. Were you surprised? Yeah, it did surprise me. Very much surprised me. In a sense, like, no other band deserved it. Because, I was like, I always felt like, man, people have, I'd see like the I remember seeing the Smashing Pumpkins doing really well when like Gish came out. I'm like, man, that seeing people would love Nirvana. I'm serious. That was my thoughts. And so I always felt like, there's no doubt that people would love Nirvana if they heard them, But to happen so quickly and in such like a, I don't know, it just was, and like it was also kind of, didn't really know what was going on half the time. Like I talked to Chris, but remember Kurt was like kind of untouchable all of a sudden, you know? I mean, if you weren't in Hole or in Nirvana or the record label, unless you played a show with him and could talk to him, I don't know how many people really got to talk to him. Yeah, with like in the punk rock scene in Tacoma, Bruce, a lot of people really got it, and then a lot of people just wouldn't listen to it because, oh, Sub Pop, they already have thing in their head, like, oh yeah, I know what they sound like. They sound like, you know, whatever, Tad, or I don't know, you know, the Sub Pop sound. That really did happen. That really did happen. People were closed off. Some people. A lot of people were pretty open, though. I mean, you know, I had friends that were totally hardcore punk rockers that loved Nirvana when they heard them. It didn't matter, you know, if the only bands they listened to was Poison Idea and The Accused. You know, they heard Nirvana and they're like, fuck, this is good. This is amazing, you know? So, yeah, I'm off topic. Jumping around. I don't think he expected it. No way. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He wanted to make a living off his music, you know? For sure. You know? I mean, any musician back then, like, you know, you don't want to work some shitty job. You want to play in your band and tour and be able to feed yourself and put a roof over your head, right? That's all Kurt. That's all Kurt and Chris and, you know, Dave and Chad. You know, Dave toured in punk rock bands. He lived it, you know? It was a surprise to him. Big surprise. It was a big surprise to those guys. They were just like, they used it to their advantage as much as possible to help other bands, to just spread good word, you know? Spread a good word. So, good word meaning like that there's a lot of great underground bands, and this is, you know, the underground music is where it all starts, you know. Buy a guitar, plug it in, play. Don't worry about getting signed. Don't worry about being that good of a musician. Just play. Me and my brother Bruce is on here right now. I'll tell you a story, you know. Okay, I had a snare drum, you guys, just a snare drum. That's all I had to start off, and I just hit the fucking snare drum as fast as I could. Bruce, my brother, he's on here right now. He'd plug into a stereo, and it somehow we can get it through the speakers, and he'd play guitar through his stereo, and me and Bruce would do Discharge covers. And I would just, there's recordings of this somewhere. I'd just go, freeze me, fuck up, and Bruce would just like play whatever he wanted, and we loved it. We loved it. That was what it was like. When you listen back to it, and you know, it sounded horrible, really, but not to us, you know, right? Just play, just do it. You know, scream your... Okay. You guys probably know who John Lennon is, right? He's one of the Beatles. So, I had heard this, I don't know where I heard this, but maybe from Bruce. But there was like a scream therapy thing. Like, I seem to remember hearing this having to do with the song Mother, where he goes, Mother, and he screams, and it became like therapy, like screaming, like not made him feel better. You guys, like, it, you know, scream right now. If there's nobody in your house and no one can hear you, just scream at the top, primal scream at the top of your lungs. Record it. Put on a guitar, or just record it. It'll be mind-blowing, right? To you, at least. Yes, Xanax. Yeah, it actually does, you know, I mean, there's three... Okay, Bruce talked about it. Hold on. Listen to Bruce. He knows. He's the Plastic Ono Band during his scream therapy period. See? Bruce knows. He's the wise one. You have subscribe to Rusta Meyer. That's Bruce's channel. He's amazing. We grew up in the same music for years, and then he went to college, and I just progressed. 50. Yep, 51. We are 1 year and 11 months apart. And, you guys, anybody want to come to Tacoma on February 20th, meet up with me. We can go to a couple places in Tacoma, can have like a meetup. You know, I'm not driving right now, so driving up to Seattle I'm not going to do, but I'll drive with somebody to Seattle if you want to go. But I can do another video on doing a meetup. I know some people were interested. Originally, we are going to go meet at Lake Washington at that house, but we can still do that. I just need to find somebody that will for sure give me a ride up there. That's all. Holland. I love Holland. I've been to Amsterdam twice on one trip. So I guess I don't, because I actually left and then came back. So, hey, Matty Matt. I think it's right now. Where are you? Too bad. Colorado. Colorado's awesome. It's a good place to be. Jersey. Yeah, it's cold and smells, and Tacoma. You guys, well, I was in a band called Noxious Fumes, and Noxious Fumes is named after Tacoma because of the smelter. We had a song called Helter Smelter because it smells in Tacoma. Ireland, yes. Oh, yes. Cute. UK, New Jersey, the aroma of Tacoma. My brother, the sage, will chime in. Brazil. You know I love Brazil. Never been there, but I know I love it. Argentina and Chile, Saskatchewan. Bruce, can you believe this? Everybody's from. It really is mind-blowing. Maryland. Do they make... Yeah, good tacos in Tacoma. Yeah, actually, walking distance, I can go... Yeah, two possibilities. Just street tacos, pretty good stuff. Portugal, Indonesia. Where in Indonesia? Where are you in Indonesia? Port Townsend, really? I have well, kind of family there. I mean, I'm not related to, but in a way they are. No, Chris Cornell was not from Tacoma. I don't think so. I've never heard that. Yes, I have. I never got to go into the house, but I've been to the house. Jakarta. You're from Jakarta? Wow. Spain. It snows in Tacoma. Yeah, sometimes. Once this year, probably won't snow again, but you never know. Sometimes there can be some crazy weather will just pop out of nowhere. So some people have asked me about super chats, and I set it up just so you guys know. How often did you talk to Dave? I talked to Dave probably 5 times, something like that. A couple times on the phone, right when he moved, and then I visited him when he was staying with Kurt, and I saw him at 2 other shows, so probably about 4 or 5 times, 5 or 6 times, I should say. But no, actually, it was also another time when they played. When Scream played in Tacoma and they stayed at Scott Hunter's. That's the first time I would have met Dave. That would have been like 89, maybe? 88? Something like that. Rio! Yeah! I'm gonna go to Rio, man. Brazil is tropical. It's okay. I'll be okay. Is there air conditioning? Yeah. That's okay. There's air conditioning. Let's see. Oh, you saw the Rio show? Wow, See, I'm still curious, like, what was up with that whole Rio show. I still don't even... Most memorable Nirvana show. I think I was asked that the last chat, too. I would say the Community World Theater, when they were Ted, Ed, Fred, or actually the first Nirvana show, because Ted, Ed, Fred... I wasn't that familiar with the songs at that moment, but the next show I was. So I would say that show, because that was absolutely amazing. Like, I felt like I was seeing my favorite band, my new favorite band, that became like one of my favorite bands ever, right? Norway. They dressed in women's clothes. Is there video of that whole show? I wonder, I should look. Oh, New York. Yeah. Did you from New York City? I don't have any good LSD stories with Kurt. You know, we only smoked weed together a couple times. That was it. And drank some whiskey and coke together. And he bought me alcohol a couple times. That was about it. We never dosed or anything. I did meet Jason Everman when he played in Nirvana, but it was just like, "Hi, nice to meet you." That was it. What is the taste of marijuana? I don't know what to say about that. Just gotta try it. Listen to some Black Sabbath. Put on Sweet Leaf. And I don't know, just start toking. Austin, Texas. I love Austin, Texas. One of my favorite cities I've been to, I think, in the United States. It was a blast. Yeah, Sabbath and ganja. I have. Did I smoke? Did I get stoned in Holland? I don't remember. I went in a. Oh, you know why? I'm gonna tell you a story here. Why I didn't smoke weed or eat any weed brownies in Holland, because I couldn't figure out where the hell I was. It was before I had a cell phone, so I had to look at a map, and all the words, all the names of streets, you guys, are so hard. I can't read. I get so confused. Everything's in, circles with, waterways, and you don't want to be stoned and trying to make your way around Amsterdam. I know that sounds like it should make sense, but I was like, you got people on bicycles, trams, cars. It's like Frogger. It's like Frogger in Amsterdam, you guys. Rome was crazy too. I came to Rome. I'll go back to Rome. I loved Rome, actually. I didn't get to stay very long because the hostel I was in moved me to another hostel, and I was like, I just split to Pompeii, and that was amazing. Pompeii was awesome. For sure. Southern Italy is, it's like Southern California. Really, that's kind of how it felt. I was there, and favorite guitar model. I'm a Gibson Les Paul standard. That's my favorite. Favorite band from anywhere. That's a tough question, man. I can't. That's hard to answer. I love Pavement a lot, but I love a lot of bands. Bad Brains. I'd say Bad Brains is up there in the top 5. Husker Du. I like those bands. My brother loves Husker Du and Replacements, probably more than myself. But I've always liked them. But I know Bruce would always turn me on to early Replacements. Yeah, Gibson Explorer is cool. Yeah. The Wipers. One of my favorite albums, Over the Edge. Yeah, first Replacements album. Bruce bought that when it came out. Or I don't know if it was when it came out, but I remember he bought it. It's a good one. Rattlesnake Bite. Early Wipers. Silverchair. I'm not a fan of Silverchair when they first came out. See, that's another band that sounds like Nirvana, right? Like, I don't know if you watched my video, but I was talking about how bands would sound like Nirvana without trying to. There's that influence, which is unmistakable, in so many bands. It really is. And I think it's a good thing. I'm not at all saying in a negative way. I mean, a band that's trying to sound like Nirvana probably won't get very far. Anyway, Oh yeah, I've heard all the Bad Brain stuff. Black Dot's one I haven't heard as much as like Rock for Light and the first tape, the Roar tape. But I think Black Dots has some other songs on it I'm not really that familiar with. Nostalgia sometimes overwhelming. Well, absolutely, man. It's over the years. It's like, it's like I was trying to explain when somebody passes away, you tend to get over it, you know. With Kurt, it's like I got over it, but I never could, in a sense, because it's still this like constant, you know. I mean, hearing songs, just still loving the band myself, or people. I have friends ask me about, you know, Nirvana questions and Kurt, and it just keeps going and going and going. That's why I was just like, finally, I just get it out. I'm just like, you know what? And my book is almost done too. My book is going to be done soon. So, but I just had to get it all out. I'm like, look, I'm just gonna start telling these stories. And of course, I never thought anybody would care like this. I really didn't. You know, it's really pretty mind blowing. Yeah. Well, oh, you mean Kurt dying? Yeah, too sudden, too soon. Absolutely. Is that original Roar? Oh, okay. Was that from the original Roar? I think it was, Bruce. I think it was partially with some more songs. I need to look into that, make sure. Hard to keep track of everything. GG Allin. GG Allin's scary. I have a GG Allin story. You guys want to hear it? GG Allin story. You want to hear it? I didn't go though, but a friend that I trust went. So, GG Allin plays in Seattle, alright? Friend Kurt, who sang in the Load Levelers, he went to the show. This is his story, and I believe him. He is 100% like, he does not talk shit. So he goes to the show, waiting, you know, opening bands go on. And waiting, GG Allin gets on stage, grabs a whole stack of Rocket magazines, which was like a music newspaper in Seattle, brings them on stage, takes off all his clothes, so now GG Allin's naked. He lights all the rockets on fire, so a whole stack of rockets, pulls the fire alarm, and goes running down the street. And that's it. That was the show. They didn't play. He just lit a stack of rockets on fire, pulled the fire alarm, naked, and ran down the street. And I trust Kurt when I mean, I've never heard anybody else tell me that story, but I believe him. You know, I don't think Kurt would make that up. Sounds like Axl Rose. Sounds like money's worth. Yeah. Like, woo! Everyone's cheering. We love you! Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was going to kill himself on stage, but I think he did it a little bit after he was on stage or something. There's a video online if you guys haven't seen that. You can watch his last day is on video, a lot of it. Had more talent than other bands in the area, was it? You know, with I think with Nirvana again, it's like, you know, I mean, Kurt's songwriting was just I'm just gonna use the word phenomenon, in a sense. It's just like something that's just, I don't know, it just it can't be totally explained or done again, or it just, you know, I mean, there's so many good musicians around that play shows, and you know, but then there's sometimes there's somebody that's just like mind-blowing, you know, that changes, that influences people like never before, and that's kind of what's happened, you know. I mean, over the years, like, you know, I have to look back then and now, and you know, how I saw it back then is exactly really now how I listen to the songs. I just was like, I mean, nobody really knew who they were back then. So it's like, I was still absolutely, I was even more, well, than now. I was more like mesmerized and just blown away by the songs. I mean, you know, yeah, that's a, see, you get me going. You get me going. I'll just talk. Like Batman. I don't know what that's, I don't know what's like Batman, but that was funny. What was it? Oh. Let's see. Okay. What was your and your peers' opinions on Soundgarden back then? I liked early Soundgarden. I like Soundgarden, but the Sound Life EP, the early Soundgarden is amazing. There's like so many different factors going into the pot. Nirvana, Beatles. Yeah, you know, I mean, I sat down and tried to learn Big Long Now, and I don't know if anybody's tried to do that, but it's not easy. And you know, Kurt being somebody that's probably pretty much self-taught to come up with riffs like that, you know, it's a left brain thing, I think, but that's not easy, man. That is not easy, and to sing. Um, so yeah, he had a instant just, you know, he had an instant just natural thing that's, you know, I mean, John Lennon is like one about the only other person I could think of that is close, you know. I mean, in music, in history, it's like as history's gone on, you know, I used to say like, yeah, Kurt might one day be like Elvis, a type of Elvis figure or something, and now it's like, no, Kurt is like a type of Elvis figure, you know. You know, I mean, it's really like one of those, or Hendrix, yeah, it's like it's just as time goes on, you know, and this, what happened here in the last month, you know? I mean, I knew people love Nirvana. I knew people still, of course, buy records, listen, you know, and still people that listened to him back then, knew people like him now. But I guess it really just kind of hit me, you know, it really hit me like worldwide. It really hit me worldwide now. I'm seeing that like, I mean, every freaking smallest country, you know, it's like, Grohl was a sober man? I don't know about that. Maybe. Got really? He was a sober. He totally sober. I love Bowie. Absolutely love. Like, yeah. I don't know the story behind. Nope. Buzz and montage. It's bullshit. Okay, this is my belief is that Buzz was, he's right. He's right. There is you know, a lot of bullshit connected to uh yeah, but he'll also, if you watch interviews with Buzz, he's pretty sarcastic, you know? I mean, he will depending on what you're talking about or what you're asking, he might you never know what he's going to say. So but I think the stomach thing, I'm surprised. Maybe, you know, maybe Buzz was not that close enough to Kurt to know that, or around him when Kurt talked about his stomach. But Kurt did talk about his stomach to me, and he didn't, you know, at that time. It was only that one occasion he asked me if I knew where to get heroin, but Kurt didn't like, oh my, you know, my stomach hurts. Oh, do you know where to get any drugs? It wasn't like that. He was really in pain, you know. It was like, but it wasn't like a he had to go to the hospital. It was like he'd kind of talk about it, you know, and then he'd just deal with it. You know, maybe that's where the teeth grinding thing came from. Maybe he was just in pain. It was like, oh, deal with it. How many people was Kurt really close with? You know, I don't know. Back then, I think he was pretty only close with people that were right, very, you know, like probably Tracy and his mom and his sister, and I don't know, you know, it's hard to say. I think he had a lot of like good friends, um, a lot of people that would visit him or, you know, see him at shows. I don't know. I don't know how many people besides like family and girlfriends were really close to him at that point. I don't think many. You know, then later on, obviously not many. Yeah, you like the album Leech, Jim? That's a I think that's a Melvin's album. Uh, let's see. It's okay, man. You know, like I said, I know a walking living troll in Tacoma that, you know, they're around. If he wants to do that, it's fine. It'll just one day backfire on you. That's all. That's all. All right, man. Yeah. Pat's a funny guy. I'm gonna have to shut this down. Thanks for coming out and hanging out. I wish I could read everything, but it goes by pretty quick. My satanic rituals. Yeah, with the Cockney Rejects. Yeah. Why? I wonder why people like to just try to give people shit in here. You know, you got nothing better to do, buddy. Really? I've heard it before, man. All right. You guys have a good day. I'm actually shutting down because it's 40 minutes. That's why I'm shutting it down. I'm going to run out of data again. All right, you guys. Take care. Bye. Don't click it, Perky. I'm going to click it. I have to. I'm going to run out of data. I want to do this again. I love you guys. Night.